Hey everybody, welcome back to D Game. I just found out that people still do this stuff and they haven't figured out just how insane it is. Okay, do not. I don't know how else to put it. Do not, whatever you do not use your debit card online. Okay, if you have before and it's linked to whatever uh, website, Amazon, whatever, take it off. Don't do it. Use a credit card. If you don't have a credit card, we'll talk about that. But do not do this, okay? If they hack the system, which you hear about randomly throughout every year, right? They do. If they do this, they're going to have access to your bank account. It isn't like a credit card where they just go and, run a charge on your credit card and you have protections. They drain your bank account, okay? When they do this, your bank, you can go and talk to them. They do have protections, right? But it's different. It's completely different. You go and talk to them. They will investigate and find out, that a charge from, Timbuktu when you just charge something, a mile from where you live. Okay, it's impossible within 20 minutes to get from point A to point B, right? But since the online, the new, world global market, that you could have bought something offline and they just charged from there because that's where the company you purchased whatever from is located. So be careful. Do not, I'm going to say it again. Okay. Do not use your debit card online. Anything linked to your bank account, do not use it. If you have it on there, take it off. Put a credit card on. Now, if you are, you don't have a credit card, you're scared about using a credit card, don't understand the difference between a debit card and a credit card, we'll explain that here. A debit card is simply a card for you to access the money that you have in your account. If you have $0 in your account, your debit card will not work because you have no funds to back it up. When you use it, it comes directly out of your bank. Right? Simple. Credit card, you are getting credit. You are charging something and they will bill you later. You don't have to have the money. So if you have $0 in your account, you use a credit card, doesn't matter. You can still use it, at least up to the limit, whatever. So that's the difference between the two, for one. Number two, there's protections that are different between the two. Your bank will investigate a fraud. They will. But they are not going to just credit your account. Let's say somebody charged $2,000. They're not just going to charge or give you $2,000 back to your account and say, "Oh, we'll look for the money." They're not going to do that. Okay, they're going to take it. They're going to investigate, but it could take 6 months to a year. And if they can prove that it was a fraudulent claim or a fraudulent transaction or charge or whatever it is, they will give you your money back. If they cannot prove it, they'll give you a portion of what they can prove. Okay. Credit cards, a lot different deal. If you call and say this charge is fraudulent, whatever, or not yours, whatever, somebody else did it, 99% of the time, they will just take that off and put it over to the side, and you will have access to that money. Let's say you had a $5,000 limit. Somebody put a fraudulent charge of $2,000 on your card. Well, that's all that's on there. Let's say you have zero balance, and now all of a sudden, boom, a fraudulent charge of $2,000. So you have only $3,000 to spend. You call and tell them, hey, that's fraudulent. They'll investigate that. 99% of the time, they will take that charge off. You'll have full access to your $5,000. Okay, if well, usually when, because they are very good at protecting their money. Credit card companies are extremely good at protecting their money. Banks, it's your money. They really don't care. Okay, I mean they care, but it's your money. It's not theirs. Okay, either way, they win. Credit cards, it's their money they're giving out. Okay, they have a higher vested interest to make sure that their money is not being spent for, just wasted, right? So they're going, when they investigate, they really investigate. Usually it's a week, maybe less. 2 weeks is I think the most that I've ever had. And so it's quick. They don't ever give you a bunch of guff about it. It's a very streamlined process. It's not like you got to keep calling them back over and over and over and over and over. All that stuff. They take care of stuff right away. So understand the difference is debit card comes straight out of your bank account. A credit card is you charge something and use their money, not yours, their money, and the next time your billing cycle comes up, the bill will come in. Okay. The trick to using a credit card is you might be thinking, well, debit cards don't charge me anything, right? They're cheaper. There's no extras. There's none of this. There's none of that. The trick to a credit card is if you pay the full balance off, there's no interest. So if I go out, let's say, and charge $50 gas, on my debit card, and it comes directly out of my account, I'm out that money, right? Which is fine. It's $50. A lot of people think that if you go use a credit card, that they have to pay $50, right? Charge it. When the billing cycle comes in, they think they got to pay $50 plus interest, plus fees, plus this. So their $50 they'll have to pay $60 for. That's the misconception. It is not like that. If you pay off, let's say you charge $50, and when a billing cycle comes through, the first bill, you pay $50. That's it. It's no interest. Pretty simple. If you only pay $20, now they're going to charge you interest on the carryover, on the extra $30, right? They can charge you interest on that stuff and fees and all this other stuff. So you have to be financially intelligent and not use credit cards unless you for big purchases. I can't say that. Use a credit card for big purchases, but make sure you have the money to pay it. Don't go, well, I got $10,000 on a credit card and I want a $6,000 thing, but I only got $1,000 on my card. Well, I'll pay it off. I'll pay it off over time. Don't do that. Don't make that a regular habit. That's dumb. That's fucking, all right, don't do it. Don't ever. All right, it's very bad. I cannot believe that people can't understand that. I mean, I'm not saying that, people aren't intelligent or anything like that. I'm not saying that to you. What I'm saying is nobody teaches people this stuff. I thought it was common sense. I mean, when I grew up, school, we had a bunch of stuff like this. We had financial training. It was a course. It was a class. We had to take it. And it was just basic stuff, but this is basic stuff that people don't understand. They don't know. I couldn't believe that they didn't know this stuff. And it's like I say, not thinking that you guys are not intelligent. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I just could not believe that people that schools don't teach this anymore, that parents don't talk to their kids. I mean, I get it. The kids ain't going to ask a bunch of questions because usually when they're busy and we all know. But These are very important things that people need to talk about and to understand. I mean, these are just the basics. This isn't like dividends and all the crazy crap going on in the stock market and all this stuff. It's very, very basic. So credit cards are by far going to protect you more than anything. Now, yes, a credit card quote, you have annual fee. You might have a high interest rate or whatever. The high interest rate doesn't matter as long as you pay your balance off. There is zero interest. If you charge $100, the bill comes in, you pay $100. That's it. There's no interest. None. Only if you carry stuff over and continue to use their money for a prolonged period of time, they'll charge you interest the entire time. So when you buy a big purchase or whatever, let's say, buy a TV, big TV or whatever, $3,000-$4,000, and the manufacturer has protections, right? Great. Don't buy the extended warranty. That's another thing. Don't do it. Okay. It's generally a waste of time. Okay. The thing is going to work. Usually it's what, a year, 2 years. If you buy a product and it don't last 2 years from regular use, you're never going to buy that product again anyway. You don't want it. It's garbage. Okay. And they're designed to last so long, just like cell phones are designed to last only so long before they start having problems. Okay. They make sure they design it around this, just like cars are designed around a certain mileage, a certain many years. That's why the warranty is there, because they know they've engineered it to last the minimum of that long. Okay. You can make anything last a long time. Electronics are a little different. There isn't really a whole lot you can do to it. If it doesn't work, it goes bad, something goes out on it, you're kind of SOL, right? But the extended warranty is just a waste of money, because they're only protecting you for the time that is designed to work anyway, and the minimum design. Now, once in a while, are you going to get a lemon? Yes. If you use a credit card, they have protections for this stuff. You can say you buy a $4,000 TV, you bring it home, turn it on, it works for a week, boom, don't work anymore. You didn't buy an extended warranty. Well, you have the manufacturer's warranty for one, right? The manufacturer generally, when you're talking electronics, is overseas, and they aren't going to be really excited or quick about trying to fix your problem. Okay, they're going to take their time. They got bigger things to worry about, and it's not a huge concern. But if you have bought it with a credit card, you can call the manufacturer, talk to them. Obviously, you'll understand what I mean, that they're not really interested when you first talk to them. If that don't help, call the credit card, explain the problem to them. Generally, they'll hold that money. They'll put a lock on it. Now you've got the manufacturer's attention because they're not getting paid. They'll fix your problem, okay, or make you whole in some way. So do not, again, do not use your credit card or your debit card to buy things online. Please, for the love of God, don't do it, because they will eventually it will happen. There is, every day is more and more and more and more of this is they're going to take your money. And once that money is gone, it's gone. It might, at least for a year, and you're broke. Okay. If they take your credit card money, you can talk to them. They put a hold on it. You just don't have to use your credit card anymore. All right. So don't, please don't be, Jesus. Anyway, you get, also with credit card, annual fees. Everybody talks about annual fees and the different things that they oh, they're going to charge me this and they charge me that, and they, you know, to a certain extent, yes. Generally, if you use the credit card, uh, you just don't leave it sit for a year, right? Okay, if you leave it sit for a year, don't ever use it, they're probably going to charge you a fee just because they're maintaining your account and you're not they're not benefiting in any way. Uh, if you uh, use the card and pay it off every month, you know, like responsible people do, if you use it and pay it off every month, don't matter if it's a low limit card, if it's so some are what $500,000. If you have bad credit or you're just starting to build credit, it's fine. There's nothing wrong. Generally, if you call and they're like, oh, well, we got a $50 annual fee. Every year they just charge you $50 for having the card or having the account. If you use it and you're religiously paying it off, and or maybe you didn't, for a month and you only could pay half, but then you paid it off, full off next. They got a little interest. When that fee comes up and you notice it on your bill, just call them. Generally, if you call and talk to them like, hey, this man, yada, 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 they will just waive the fee. They'll just take it off. It's that easy. Okay. Some cards, I can't say all. Any cards that I ever dealt with, yes, they do. Other ones, no, they don't. Now, I understand that people use credit cards for emergencies. And honestly, I think that that's what they're honestly really designed for. Uh, they help to build credit. They're very useful. They have extra protections, and when you absolutely need something, that it's a short-term loan, and it's wonderful to have. So the understand the difference between the two. Understand why credit cards are better, and use your credit card more. Just make sure you know what you're spending. Okay. If you're going to spend, if you have, your credit's not great, right? Or you're just starting to build credit and you happen to have a credit card, low limit, high limit, doesn't matter what it is, high interest, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you're going to use your money with debit card out of your bank account, your money, you're going to buy a tank of gas and you have the money, use a credit card. Just swipe your card, do that. All credit card companies anymore have online stuff. You can just charge, you can go straight home, you can get online, you can pay your balance off right then, like 15 minutes after you charged it. Okay, that way there's no bill. But it is a cycle. It is a it goes towards your credit that they can report. Hey, they charged this, paid it off in full. So it looks good on your credit. It'll help build in a great way. So talking about credit, if you're thinking about buying a car, okay, be very careful, especially nowadays, because the prices over the last few years have really skyrocketed and then kind of dropped and then skyrocket. It's the roller coaster, right? So be careful, do your research, make sure if you aren't mechanically inclined and don't know, uh, take it to a mechanic, somebody you trust. Don't just go, well, this guy only going to charge me $50 to look at it. This guy's going to charge me $150, right? That's why you do your research and you be very, very, very diligent about what car you actually want. Check what is it, the report on the title, make sure that's all good. Um, take it to a mechanic and tell him the situation. Hey, I'm going to buy this car. I think please go through the entire thing and just give me your opinion. And they will. They'll come back. If it's a used car, they'll come back and tell you, you know, they might say, well, it's all right. Depends on what you're going to use it for, but there's like $10,000 worth of stuff you're going to need in the next few years. Well, you got a budget for all that, right? If you're buying a car, you're not going to like, oh, I want to buy a $20,000 car and stick $10,000 into it, right? It might not be what you're looking for. I mean, I don't know why anybody would, but make sure you when you're talking about that helps build credit, right? So if you're buying it to you need a vehicle and uh, you want to use it to help build credit a little bit, make sure you keep the payment low. Uh, use your head. Maybe save up, you know, for another 6 months, 4 months, whatever it is, or buy a little less of a car. Everybody gets excited. Everybody loves cars. They're important. But I love cars. But they're they're very important uh, to people, and they get carried away, and they end up spending uh, like when the kid got by with a $20,000 car, they'll spend 30, 35 because that car is just cooler. Well, you don't need it right now. All right. If you don't have the money, you don't need it. So think about that. Building credit and stuff like now, they'll extend what 6, 7 years for a loan. I mean, it's absolutely insane anymore. Uh, but you got to think about how much interest you're paying. The car might only be $20,000, but over a 7-year, 6-year loan, whatever they give, what depends on the interest rate, you'll spend $35,000 for a $20,000 car. So keep it in mind, work it out through your head, in your head, get online, figure out how to calculate, how much you're going to spend, what everything is, figure out what the insurance is. That's a factor. Figure out what licensing is. Every state's a little different. Every county is a little different about licensing fees. Uh, don't forget, if you buy a new vehicle, when you go and unless you buy it from I think even dealerships anymore. Can't remember the last time, but even the dealership, I believe, private sale doesn't matter. When you go, they're going to charge you your taxes on your car. Usually, I believe it's somewhere between 4 and 8%. Depends on where you live, but doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, 8% of $20,000 is a lot of money. Especially if you're not expecting it. So do a little research, keep it in your head, save up a little bit more. There's nothing wrong with having a car that you like, that you can afford, that ain't gonna cramp your lifestyle, and uh, you keep the payment lower. Because a car loan, you think if you get like a 7-year loan, it's not going to help your credit for 7 years. Okay, it's not like a credit card. They have a different metric for everything. I think it's like 19 months that they report that you make your payment in full, and it helps your credit. But after 19 months, if you have it for another 80 months, whatever, uh, that reporting doesn't help your credit at all. So keep that in mind for one. These are little things that are kind of common sense that nobody really knows. Nobody gets told anymore. So also buying a house. Now this one I completely get. Cars, I don't. Uh, I don't spend. I don't buy a car that I can't buy. I have the money. I'll still get a loan. Just got to maintain credit because credit actually nowadays will affect everything, including insurance for the car. If you have good credit, you get a better rate. If you have bad credit, you get a higher rate. So if you buy a house, um, now that I can completely understand. Nobody's going to walk around with $300 to $1 million in their pocket, or in their bank account. I get it. So it's going to have to be a loan. Just understand the interest rates. A lot of uh, all the states have these first time home buyer stuff, and understand very well what they are. Uh, they are a good option for some people, um, but others it's not the greatest option because they don't really know and understand what it's all about. Okay, uh, usually, let's say they're just say for round numbers, it's $100,000 house, um, and they get 5% interest. So the first year you have your payment is going to be the payment on the $100,000, with 5% interest. And then uh, in the next year, the interest rate will bump up and bump up and bump up every year for 5 years, and then it'll stay there. But a lot of people aren't aware of this, or they're aware of it, but they don't think it through. They don't understand that every year their payment's going to go up. It could be anywhere from $100 a month to $400 a month, $500 a month. So it's catch a lot of people off guard. Also, when it comes to TPI, it's when you get a house loan, you have to pay taxes and insurance, right? So usually they're incorporated in the loan. So you pay them every year. You don't incorporate the taxes in the loan. I guess to explain it better, let's say your taxes are $5,000 a year for the home, and your insurance is $1,000. So $6,000 just for those two. Your payment is $1,000 a month, right? That 6,000 is divided by 12, which is 500, and then they put that monthly in your payment. So if you paid $1,000 just for your loan, they will add that extra 500 for over 12 months. It'll equal $6,000 for you are paying them. They will keep that money and then take that money and pay your taxes and insurance. That way they maintain that the property that they are invested in with the loan, the taxes and insurance are paid. So understand that there's a lot of that catches a lot of people off guard. They once you're into it all, it kind of gets overwhelming, and you're just like, whatever, I just want the house, right? After a month, 2 months of dealing with the bank and looking and all this stuff, we get it. But just be aware of that. When you also, your utility bills are going to be higher. You might be living in an apartment, condo, whatever, and townhome maybe. They, your energy bills and garbage and city services and things like that are going to go up. They're going to be higher because a home is bigger, so it takes more. But just understand that. Keep that in mind. Budget everything out. Don't just willy-nilly go off and do something crazy. So just letting everybody know. Kind of, I run across 3 or 4 people in the last couple of weeks that had their credit card online, and they got the businesses got hacked, and they took their information. Luckily, they didn't lose any money. The bank was aware and locked everything, and that was good. but it's not typical, I guess you could say. It happens, and it can happen, and over time it will happen if you do it. If you have your credit card linked to your online, it will happen. Maybe not in a year, maybe not 3 4 years, but sometime it will happen and you'll be out. So just trying to make everybody aware of general things of how to do this stuff and understand the basic financials that nobody explains to anybody anymore. They don't, like, they just assume that people know. When you're 23, 24, buying a home, 28, whatever, they just assume that you know. And nobody's ever told you, so how in the hell are you ever going to know? So, not going to make this any longer. I want to get out of here. Thanks for saying it. Like and subscribe. Come on. Build this channel, do something. There's going to be a lot of information. Trying to help out. Comment. Make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you get updates and things, and we're going to be doing a lot of everything. The channel's all about men, women, dynamics, dating, sex, and anything else I find interesting. Financial, obviously. So, all right, I'm out. Catch you later.